Okay, so it's Monday. I'm pretty sure it's the 26th. And, another deadline. How do these deadlines just keep on going and going? But another deadline, I guess, is today. And it's something about every 70 years there's a Jubilee. And this is the deadline to claim the Jubilee or something. I'm not really sure. Um, I was really thinking, man, that'd be super cool if it is the financial collapse is what is the huge thing, or it will still be, storms and stuff that are going to keep taking people out. I mean, the amount of people dying is so fucking crazy. But so that will keep happening in weird ways too, just like these car crashes, you know, just any way to go. I swear that's how it's going. But so if the military put a deadline on him, he was supposed to step down. So it would have to be shown that he had to step down. It should have been yesterday. So you would think for sure today. And it's 6 in the morning here. So Wall Street's already open. I was looking it up because I've been up since, I am not shitting you. I was laying in bed, just laying there, and I couldn't sleep and I couldn't sleep. I had already been asleep, but it was like I felt like it was morning and I was laying there. And finally, I got up and I came out to see what time it was. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my God, what in the hell? So I went in there and laid back down, and my stomach kept growling and growling and growling. I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking starving now. And my I could not relax at all. It almost felt like somebody else was keeping me awake. It was the weirdest thing. And so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get up. And so anyways, that's what I did. But I did look on Wall Street because I do know that we are going to have this jubilee. That's part of the new age. And it's part of the whole transfer of wealth has to transfer out. It is, it's the whole thing. It's got to be in motion. It's got to go both ways. It's got to go all directions, you know? Oh my gosh. Super high pitched. And for all I know, it's a fucking frequency keeping me up. Stella has got the worst gas I've ever smelled. I can't even believe it. She's usually not even gassy ever. And oh my Lord. Oh my God. And I have no idea what was waking me up. This high pitched squealing in my ears all damn day is exhausting. And another thing, remember I was talking about that, like, people with bigger accounts is part of their awakening is to go through whatever, a lot of them are going through all different things. But the one girl, Alex, so she's the one who's got a huge following on TikTok, and she doesn't know about spiritual stuff. For a while, she kept saying stuff about it. I don't know if she is now because she's getting so attacked. But so she, but see, I'm not going to go in and attack somebody. The thing I'll always do is like question my guides. Like, so why is this playing out this way? Why is it that there's so many of us who know what's going on and we're being silenced while other people who don't know what's going on are, kind of like misleading people? This kind of like a step down from the main misleading that we've experienced our whole lives. So, anyways, I'll ask them, why is this going on? I'm not going to go attack somebody. It's like, especially these spiritual people, do you not see like the universe has its way of doing things? Like some of these people get so arrogant, like they got to interfere. So anyways, I guess she's being so attacked that her followers started saying, you need to defend yourself. You need to say something. I told you, like, there's so much of this right now with these people defending themselves, explaining themselves, trying to be understood. It's like, you don't have to do all this, you got to let go of that. You could go and explain yourself to your blue in the face, and still somebody's only going to understand what they understand. They're not going to understand your perspective. They're not going to understand you, no matter how much. I was one of those people who was constantly trying to over explain myself. So just as it's a waste of time. So anyways, her people were telling her, so yeah, I saw this video yesterday, and she was showing her background of her thing, and she had community guidelines and stuff, and she said, this is what happens when I go and try and tell the bullies to stop bullying me. And so she did this whole thing on it. So when she tells the bullies not to bully her, her account gets strikes. And there's several of them, I guess, on, I think the spiritual TikTok is who's attacking her. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. And there's girls who have made whole accounts just to go in and talk shit about her. It's like, oh my gosh. And she said that, she's sick of defending herself. She can't, and then she started going through, that she's full Puerto Rican, so it's literally a hate crime the way they're bullying her. And she started going in this colonization and all this stuff. But that's what I'm saying is, like, there's so much stuff coming to the surface. And one of the things too is it seems like so many people are talking about the hypocrisy, like people don't even notice like their own hypocrisy. But that's the stuff that's all coming to the surface. Which, another thing that's funny enough is that today, the moon or whatever goes into Jupiter or something, and Jupiter is going to be able to be seen with just your eyes without a telescope or anything up in the sky, and it represents the truth being shown or something. So I saw somebody talking about astrology saying this is when people are going to start seeing their own truth. So that is when people will start seeing their own hypocrisy. And like I had said, some of these people with these bigger accounts, it's how they're playing out their awakening, and all the people who are attached to it, how they're playing theirs out, because then they have to awaken to, I was following, and then I'm just following again, following. And that keeps being a thing that gets brought up. And another thing now is I'm seeing these people who don't have any of these, and there's been so much arrogance and so much, we're trying to inform you, we're trying to show you the facts, listen to us, and getting really worked up about it, and then being super defensive, like with the I'm not anti, I just don't want this one, all of that whole business that went on for a while. And then and now they are just being where, let me see, I've got too many things going in my head at once. So one of the things is now they're starting to realize that they're putting it out there. Those nanos are going in you. No matter what, they're going in you. We've got them coming at you from every direction. They're in the air. They're in the food. They're in the water. So just sit back and relax, because you are being, it is like an invasion. You're being invaded by the nanos. So anyways, now that people are starting to realize really how the food situation and how they are really all being poisoned and stuff, then they're starting to be just like taken down a notch and humble them, because they did go through a huge arrogance, and they were the ones who started calling themselves purebloods and stuff like that. They were the ones who, there was a group of people who were saying, oh, well, you're going to die. I hope you die. And then there were the other ones who were saying, well, you're just stupid sheeple. You don't know anything. You're just stupid. There was just still fighting. There was no good guy or bad guy. I see these things coming out now, like congratulating for how smart we were. We were able to take so much abuse from people, and we still stood firm. And it goes through this whole thing, the social experiment, and you guys did it, and y'all are like superheroes and stuff like that. When other people were bullying you and telling you to die and stuff like that, I was thinking, I did not feel more bullied by, like, you can turn them off. You don't have to listen to them. Like on my TikTok, as soon as somebody comes in and says something that's rude, I just block them. It's like, I don't need that energy. People are here trying to have conversations. People are meeting up, and some people get in arguments in the comments. I can't go in and solve all their problems. That's something in themselves they have to face. But I'm not going to let these people just come in and bully, but that's where these people start going in and defending themselves. And, oh, I'm so, just like when the people come in, oh, you cuss too much. And these people, oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, it's like, fuck you. You don't want to hear cussing, get the fuck off. Like if you're delicate with the words, then I'm sure you can find somebody who's got that delicate touch. It's not me. I say how I feel. Another thing too is I was thinking about this because to me, like I had seen the earlier in the week, there's this guy. His name is Mandy Pantikin. I think that's how you say his last name. His last name is spelled kind of weird. And he was in Princess Bride. That's usually where everybody knows him from. He was the one who was, my name is, whatever, I'm here to kill you or avenge my father or something like that. And so it was that guy who played the guy who was in search of the guy who killed his dad in The Princess Bride. And he was in I think CSI. I don't know if it was maybe it was some kind of serial killer show at some point, like some cop or something, because I watched the show. I can't remember, but he was on some show and I watched it. But he's like a super serious kind of person, and he's an opera singer or something. And anyways, he's on YouTube. So you can look him up. He's on YouTube. And his videos kept popping up, and it was like his kid was videotaping him and his wife. So the kid's mom and dad, almost an adult, and, this guy that Mandy, I think he's probably 10 years older than me. I don't know. I think he's probably like 70, but I'm not sure. But his so his kid's an adult, and he's videotaping him. And so I was watching him, and his wife. One of the things that was making me think about these academic kind of characters was his wife. And if you would look her up, you would see what I'm talking about. She just is like a character. And and that is at the same time when I had seen that other liberal character where I was saying, it's weird because they kind of carry a certain look, like real crazy glasses and crazy hair and stuff like that. They present a certain look, and then they get kind of like super opinionated, which I'm super opinionated, and super like there's this thing that it seems like older women do is go a lot further into like their masculine side. But it isn't like they become more empowered as a woman by going into balance with their masculine side. It's kind of like they go out of balance. Like they forget that they have a feminine side. So, what I notice is so many women as they get older, they just cut all their hair off. They want like a boy haircut. And then they don't want to, do anything to fix themselves or whatever. Like wouldn't put on makeup or go and get clothes that might be cute or whatever, just kind of like, don't care about that stuff. So kind of like not in the feminine aspect as much. So not in balance. And it is kind of like it's pushed like that. But anyways, when I had seen them, the video just caught my attention. So I was like, when I was watching, because they're just like 2 or 3 minute little clips. And I was thinking, oh, I can see why this kid would want to videotape them, because they are characters for sure, and their interaction is, they have like an interaction that is interesting or something. This wife is quite a character. And so it's kind of like like in the comedy thing, how there's like the straight man and I don't know, they kind of have that feel. It's not like they're doing comedy per se, but there is, obviously they're doing these videos to be funny. And so they probably know what they're going to kind of say. They probably have a certain way that they act all the time. But anyways, it is, I was just kind of interested as because I went in and watched some more of them because I was thinking, I bet he's pretty liberal, especially like just seeing his wife. I would think, so I went in and listened to a few. And as soon as I get to one where somebody starts saying, that we need to keep these Dems in, like it's super important. Like we can't let this get out of control like it did before. It's like, okay, so you're super smart and academic, all progressive, but you just have no clue what's going on in the world. Or you're just paid to say, a narrative, which I guess, Kim Kardashian again is getting super called out right now because I guess the whole start of her career. So it's like shameful, seriously. Like how desperate can you be? But she likes to create drama, that family. And the whole way she started her career, apparently was some sex tape with some guy. And he got blamed for releasing this tape. And so she started going off on it again, apparently on her show or something, which provoked him into telling the truth, which is, yeah, he made this tape with her, but it was Chris who wanted the tape. I think they got several different shots and stuff to get so it could be released so Kim could become super famous. So she wanted her daughter to become famous to so their family could. So apparently Chris went in and, did the deciding what would be released and stuff. Like she was the producer of her daughter's sex tape or something. So anyways, but the people have to see, like, you're idolizing somebody who is just a mannequin. They're nothing. They're not making decisions for themselves. All they are is a mannequin to try and sell you a lifestyle, sell you to hate yourself. Like how many girls? I mean, that whole family goes under the knife probably weekly. And so how many girls are going under the knife so that they can join the club and look like a Kardashian or something, even Chloe, like she is a Kardashian and she would look, I don't know. It's wacky, but people have to see it for themselves. They just, they don't see it. But, with Alex, the girl who's being so attacked, there's a whole bunch. It's not just like her. I just noticed her because I keep seeing certain people pop up and then you see the stuff they're saying or what they're talking about. But I knew that there was going to be some stuff that was going to play out like that where people were going to totally be attacked. And, it's good because now, she's come out and said, look, I'm not trying to tell anybody I know anything about this stuff. I'm just trying to learn about this stuff. I'm just trying to figure this out. And I guess her stuff blew up because she posted a video about ayahuasca thing she did. So everybody started, and then, she started expanding her consciousness, but she doesn't know stuff about things. She's just going in and learning. But thing is when you have a huge following and you've got all these people hanging on your every word. One thing though that I had seen in her videos yesterday, because she has been talking about the planets, and because she was all onto the whole thing with the with Jonah and the leaving the Matrix, and they're the ones talking about getting the reservation for the thing, and that's what I'm saying, like, but then they're getting that information from Sam the Illusionist, who is a channeler. He channels all the time. I don't know, everybody's channeling because we're all getting our information from out there, and everybody's is just, it's kind of like a wait and see, let's just wait and see because everybody's getting information and nobody knows for sure, and we're at this point where it's supposed to be the truth coming out. So I'll be glad if I'm completely off and completely wrong on stuff. I would just as soon know, so I stop putting energy into it. You know what I mean? because I feel like I'm put energy into stuff that I don't need to if it's wrong. So I don't know. I think that this week is going to be intense. Personally, I think it's going to have stuff is going to go down. There's some other things too, other deadlines or something with the Vatican and their finances. So I hope that it is the financial collapse that is the thing that wakes everybody up. That would be, but it's going to still be rough. I am telling you, still in comments where people will be like, well, what happens to the cash I have then? It's like, people don't understand how the money system works at all. Like, to think like, well, the cash is as worthless as any of it. It's all worthless. There's nothing. The system is blowing up on itself. There's nothing, and they oversold it and stuff. There's people who are like, well, what about my retirement? Your retirement was never there. And I have seen so many videos now where people are going in trying to get money out of the banks, and the banks won't let them. They're making them wait like 30 days. They have to sign, they have to fill out paperwork. They have to tell what it's for. Even some of the bank tellers and stuff have even referenced the money as if it's the bank's money. It's not your money. And the people are like, no, that's my money. I think people are going to learn a lot of hard lessons. So, it's going to be, it's not going to be easy. It's still going to be extremely painful for a lot of people if that is the big thing that's going to shock everybody awake. I don't know. God, my nose is itching. Oh, what the hell? I feel like I've got horrible allergies right now, too. Man, I keep sneezing. Oh, my nose is itching to death. So I don't know. I think it's just the poisons. Stella's got this huge knot that's growing on her back. It's huge. I tried to put like an Epsom rag on it today. This gas problem. I went out and cleaned up all our poop yesterday, and it all looked perfectly fine. I didn't see anything, just not bleeding her guts out or something. So I don't know what is the problem yesterday with all of the gurgling and now this horrible smell. But maybe I gave her some more of that diatomaceous earth. Maybe that's helping her pass stuff out. But I didn't even see any worms in the poop or anything. But it's not like I can see perfect. And that's another thing too. I feel like my eyes are really like under attack again. I'm going to do that 3 squirts or 3 times a day. But I definitely feel like, it's total attack. And another thing too is I was thinking some of these people have got to be hearing about the Putin's threats. Like, they've got to be hearing that. And all weekend when the planes were going over and over and over, I kept thinking, I wonder if this is making anybody think about that a little different now. Maybe notice, like, maybe it's a little concerning to have these planes keep flying over us. What are they doing up there? Why do they keep doing this? Because every time I've said it, I've just sounded like some sort of wackadoo that they think I'm crazy. So, but now I'm thinking, well, surely something's going to get them to start noticing. I mean, even when, this is really pulling my hair. Even when I was just starting, right before I started this, there was plane flying over. Another thing that I keep noticing, something's weird with my hair texture too. It is, I don't know. Like, I think it is something with the radiation or something. And another thing I was thinking to pay attention to is if you go out in the sun, if that with the mixed with the radiation makes more hair fall out. Because I keep seeing so many women talk about it. And I keep wanting to ask, like, well, do you go out in the sun a lot? Because definitely the sun is doing something to the plants. So, and is that with the radiation or just with the water? Like, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff for us to find out about. But these people who now who are starting to realize that they have got all these poisons that are in the other people that they've been looking up and reading about. So it's very humbling, to get to that point and go like, oh my God, we've all got this in us. But to me, it's like, well, what did you think? Did you really think you were going to outsmart these people? You think that they didn't have other plans? They've been doing this our whole lives, you know? And I was thinking, even, I think one thing that would shock people awake is if they really did disclose about the 11th that just passed of this month, the anniversary of that, the truth about it. If the people were really getting the truth about that, that could be. But anyways, I wanted to go back to that Alex thing because she was doing these videos of stuff of the sky. And so there's a bunch of people because she has a big following. So they start sending her pictures. And so on the 24th, I think that was the one day. Yeah, because the 26th now is this one other deadline. So 24th, whatever that was, the one where the chancellor said we'll all remember where we were that day, except for, I swear to God, when he very first said it, it was the 27th. It wasn't the 24th. And then all of a sudden it changed in the 24th. But who knows? I swear to God, we're just skipping through timelines at this point. But so a bunch of her people went out and was taking pictures of the sky. And they caught something really, really weird on the sky. Like, a lot of people are catching some really crazy stuff up in the sky. But one of the things that was really cool was it looked like that the firmament ripped open, and then it started having like, like that light bright, what light bright looked like, and it had the light that would come out if it didn't have the little things in it. If you had them all filled, and if you just took out one, how that light would look, that's what it looked like up in the sky. It looked like somebody had just taken one out and this burst of sunlight. It looks so weird. And there's a bunch of different pictures. Like, I'm sure you can look it up and find these weird sky pictures where it looks like there's holes in the sky now, or holes in the firmament. I don't know. There's something strange going on in the skies. And so that still is, something's going to go on. Like, I really was thinking, I wonder how much of this is just that they do these dates to get these people all worked up. And then when there is a letdown and nothing happens, and then, because even leading up to it, there's so many people, oh, there's nothing's going to happen. I don't know. I just know something's coming. I don't know the date. I don't know the time. I don't know what, when, and how, or any of that. I just know something's coming. And so, to me, these people, it's kind of like they build up their walls or let down their guard. Like, oh, nothing's going to happen. We're just going to go into, starvation and camps and stuff like that. It's like, no, that's not how it's going to go. Something really big is going to happen. And it's so we turn to go the other direction because we're going too far in this other direction. Like, it's tumbling down towards, evil. And we are in the upside down. So we're like in the underworld, essentially. So it has to flip back up. It's just the way it has to go. And so it's going to flip. And there's just so many people who are just so oblivious. Like these people who, so many people just get so stuck on stuff with the government and what we need to do for the solution, and they don't work on any of their healing. They don't look at anything about, I guess, a lot of the people who are really onto the government tyranny have some other part that's associated with medical, but I don't even know that they go as deep into the medical, you know? It seems kind of surface. Today I saw a cop from Tennessee saying that he advises everybody to leave Illinois. He said that thing that they just passed is going to be so dangerous, not just to cops, but to all the people. It is going to be, criminals are going to take over Illinois. So maybe that's going to be like the escape to New York will be the Illinois. It's just going to turn into a giant prison state or something. I think whatever is going to go down is going to just stop everything from going further. Like, I don't, the way that the people keep coming across the border is so insane. And the way this press secretary or whoever that girl is, god damn, I don't know what the hell she did with her life, but she's obviously, you know, got herself into some stuff. Go out there and just lie like that. It's so crazy. Another, what was it? It just popped into my head. Let me think what it was. Because yesterday when I was talking about this outrageous video I saw, I don't think I ever said what it was. It was so fucking disturbing, man. I couldn't believe it. It was two girls, which they were totally dolled up in the liberal, attire. So really crazy hair, half shaved, weird colors, and crazy glasses, and just the whole look. And so they're talking, and I don't know if they have a podcast or something, but so somebody videoed them talking, and what they are saying is so disturbing. I couldn't believe it. They were so callous about taking those things out of their uterus prematurely, and then they were real vulgar. Like, they kept calling their vagina the same kind of thing as like a cat, which I think is just really degrading, like to talk about your body like that. And so they were saying how cool that would look, all of that blood and guts coming out. They're sure that they could get that on a For You, no, not For You, fans only. I think that's a channel where, or a website or something where people go in and do, like, I think cam girls maybe. I don't know what all goes on it, but it's something where women think like they can go make money. Which, one of those girls, this one in Kentucky, that when she was talking about the flood, and I liked her so much, I thought she was really cool. Well, now that crisis is over, now she's back to work, and she's a cam girl, dominatrix or something. And, no shame, if people go make money however they want, it's how you value yourself. Just like, Kim Kardashian obviously has no value to herself. She'll sell out for anything. And when people find out what some of these people have sold out for, they're going to be disgusted. But, so to me, it isn't, like you're selling yourself for sex, is that I just can't watch somebody not love themselves and to just not see their own value, and to think that that's their only value is to satisfy somebody else's sexual urges. And it's like, the money could be intoxicating, but you are completely devaluing yourself as a human. That's what I can't handle watching. It's like, it makes me feel bad. So anyways, these two podcast girls, they were talking about doing videos of those procedures being done and getting up in there to get all of the shots, because people would probably like to see these babies be sliced and diced. And I'm not even kidding you with how these girls were talking. It was like so horrible. And as far as like, man, they're so out of touch with their own femininity, their own, their own abilities, or their own creation, themselves as a creator. They're just not even in touch with that at all. And, and it's, to me, this whole thing with how society has trained their brain, just like these people with the go green. Yeah, just put me in and make me into fertilizer. And you know what, too? It's $5,000. Who in the hell is going to pay to become five? Isn't cremation still 600, or are they going to move that up to 20,000 now so that we all have to go for the cheapest? I'm not going to. I've told my family my dying wishes is go get a little wooden rowboat, put me on the rowboat and put flowers, give gifts, whatever anybody wants to send off with me, then cover it with gasoline, and then put it out into the water and shoot arrows to it. And then everybody just sit out there and tell stories about me until the boat disappears and burns away. And that's it. I've been released. I've been released to energetically, and I have gone back to be a part of this world. But you don't do it as creaming somebody and then putting them on food. Like, it's bizarre. Anyways, those girls, to me, it was just like, to wake up to that much hatefulness inside of you is weird, to the point where it's like, are these people just like coming from somewhere else to come in to be so outrageous and so hideous as to wake people up? Because that's what mostly everything is this so outrageous of things that it wakes people up. And that is what is so shameful, of how disturbing some of this stuff gets. And some people just continue to stay asleep. But it isn't like they're just choosing to stay asleep or not looking. It is seriously MK Ultra. Some people are way more MK Ultra, way more mind trapped than some of the other ones. But every single soul has a plan of how they were going to go through this and what they were going to wake up to. Just like this person growing this huge amount of people and then having this humiliation of these attacks nonstop, and people putting her down, and then people, putting too much pressure on her, so that she can't just go out and, think about it. You have a lot easier time not having everybody hanging on your every word while you're awakening and trying to understand things. And so anyways, you can see how that's a whole thing, and that is happening to a lot of people. So every single thing, I'm telling you, I've been saying this all along, and I feel certain of it. Every single thing happening on this planet is for the awakening. Has nothing to do with all the things they want to fight for. It's all just about the awakening. And what do you do? Just like these people who, for however long, the uns and the ones that did and the ones that didn't, in this battle over who is smarter and who's meaner and all this stuff. But each group has been, and now, you get to the thing where everybody's got to see. It wasn't like you were smarter or you weren't or whatever. Some people can't imagine that the government would be poisoning them. When, to me, I know their plan to reduce Social Security is murder. That's the plan. They don't care about anything but just ridding the planet of everything, ridding it of the trees, the plants, the animals, all of it. So, all they need is a little line. They're just, all they need is a little artificial space, and they can find it in Gitmo. They can have their little artificial space in that. But really, I think even in like Gitmo or something like that, even in any kind of prison or any kind of place like that, I would think the people should have to work for their food. If you can't go and, go out and dig up some food, take care of yourself, then don't eat. I think that it shouldn't be us people shouldn't have to be working and doing all this stuff to pay for these people. They should have to pay for themselves to stay in these places. Shouldn't be like a vacation place that people get to go when they commit crimes. But everything is going to be changing. Like, people who have committing crimes in their heart, they're not going to level up in the game. And people who just, you can see how it's a video game, how people just struggle to get through certain levels. And, this is a big time of leveling up. That will be the whole reason when things go haywire and go the other direction. No telling how haywire. I think it's going to be like an energetic tsunami. But I don't think that it is the big solar event that it is. I can't because to me, all along, it is that wouldn't happen until everybody, the most people were awake. And I don't think people are refusing to wake up. And I don't think that people like where some people think like they're better than other people because they're awake, and the other ones, well, they're just not going to wake up. They're just not going to wake up. I just don't see it that way. I see it as everybody gets the opportunity to wake up. And so something will happen, a big slap in the face to get everybody to pay attention so that they have an opportunity to heal before this, this big decision over which direction are you going to go. The split of, are you going to go towards back into just darkness or gonna go forward. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's people who definitely think that this is gonna be it, but I don't see even people who think they're awake. I don't see people who are awake. But I don't know. Maybe that's all it takes. Is it people just barely had to be barely even nudged, and that was it. And then we're gonna have the big split, and people are gonna go in different directions. I don't know. I mean, we're all just waiting to see. We're all waiting for the truth. And Jupiter, I mean, every day, I'm always looking for that. Please, let today be the day. Every little thing. Come on, come on. Like, man, like seriously, I started doing this such a while back. And I know that's why I can see what people are not awake, to so many things that they're not awakened to. So, and they just get stuck. And I don't know. I just feel like hopefully today is a big economic crash, and hopefully that just starts shit going. I know that, the last time they were supposed to do it, they blew down buildings. So that's why, they don't want to crash. That's why they're going to keep attacking us until things go the other direction. And even when they go the other direction, it's going to be the citizens losing their goddamn minds. So it's still not going to be safe. It's still going to be crazy and chaotic out there. Especially some of these people are fucking deep ass mind trap. That guy who ran over that kid, and they just let him out. Like, okay, big deal. And he only had to pay $50,000. He's got a record. He just brutally runs over a child, and then they just let him out. And then, that Kyle, he goes, I watched all that shit play out on Twitter. I was watching that shit live with Kyle. And you could see he was being attacked. He was just trying to, because they were the Tifas were going in and burning the whole fucking city down. And his friend had a business there, and his friend said, would you guys guard my store? And he was one of the people who went with his gun to guard the store. He didn't think it was going to be that violent. These people were complete crazy people. He was just, you'd think if you're standing there with a gun, people will leave you alone, but no. And they tried to kill him. They just missed. So, and he was a kid. And then they hold him for $2 million and all this stuff. I mean, everything in our system is just for these evil people to get their way and to push us to do what they want. Like and another thing too, with the crash for the money and stuff, if that goes along with making him step down, that would be excellent. So I still feel like that. I think by the end of the month, something big is going to happen. I don't know. I mean, and the thing is it can go at any moment. And it is constantly keeps being storms and all of this stuff it is all to just keep waking people up. Even for the Iran place now, I saw where they are letting the people do videos and stuff now. And this girl said that this girl's name, I don't want to say her name wrong because it's not my language and I can't get it straight in my head. But so her name now represents freedom to them. I knew that she would be a martyr, and she's representing freedom to them, and that is like their that place going full circle. I'm sure there was something that happened a long time ago that went the wrong direction with something, and then it's going back to the power to the people, where they're going to claim their independence, claim their sovereignty. They have a representative of what it means, what someone's willing to give up to have freedom. And then, we're having that play out all over the place, because that is the movement. That is what happens for the awakening, sovereignty and independence. And that is what is the new earth, the 5D earth or whatever. The 5D is just the higher consciousness. It's the way that we interact and deal with things. It's the way we start to live. It's not being of this low, upside down world. That's why people have got to heal from all of that attaches them into the upside down world, or the upside down world holds you back from all the possibilities of who you can become, because you're so attached to something that they're trying to create using you. And so you have to recognize that and let it go and see that that's not really you, and move out of that space to go in and claim your own space, to claim your own identity, to figure out who you are. And it's a whole process, and it's difficult. So anyways, there's no shame in however long it takes or however bumpy your road is. Just remember that your soul had a plan, and you are in the plan. It's happening. You don't have to do anything different. Mostly, I think probably most people just need to kind of relax. I think so many people think that they can change destiny, they can change an outcome if they just do this, if they just do that, if they just would have done this different, if I just would have said that. But that's not how it goes. It was always supposed to go the way it went, so you could learn from the situation, and then you can do something different another time. And usually you get an opportunity for something to be, so that you get to see something go different. I see it all the time. If you judge something about somebody, you'll end up playing it out for yourself, so you can experience it, so you can see. And, right now there are so many people who are, claiming they're one thing as they're saying something else. They just have no clue about their own hypocrisy, who they are. They're just, doing one thing and saying a narrative or speaking off a script on another. And they have to come together in this understanding of themselves. They have to see them whole selves to understand themselves. So anyways, that's the process that we are in. That's the process that we are beginning. And I just saw this person talking about Mount Shasta. That is the root chakra for the planet. And I was talking about something about the root chakra and something that happened or whatever. But it also said that whatever went to this healing, this root chakra, now as the planet releases us into our healing or something, I don't remember how it was all said. But anyways, it was going to bring all this stuff up, that people had to face their own truth. They have to see their own truth, which goes in with the Jupiter, which goes in with all of this stuff coming to the surface of people recognizing this hypocrisy and all of that coming up, so people can start to bear witness to themselves. Because it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks of you. You have to get over that and not worry about that, not defend yourself, not be concerned about what everybody else thinks about something. You just have to look at it for yourself, and you have to decide. Everything is about finding this balance. You can't just stop having dark inside of you. You have both. You have to have both. Can you imagine just living your life if you didn't have another side to yourself? You could totally be taken advantage of. You've got to have that dark side, that masculine side, That was a side that I was in denial with for so long. But it made me be very dependent on men. Like I needed men to save me. I didn't recognize I could save myself. I just had to toughen up a little bit and stand up for myself. So that is that finding your own balance. And everybody has their own. We can't shove ours onto somebody else. And we have to allow people to wake up in their own time. It's very arrogant to call people sheep and stuff like that because they're still not awake. I mean, if people can't look around and see the deep mind control that is going on these people, like it is completely not thinking, they're just reactive, which is all lower chakra. But if this root chakra thing is being released from the planet, which is supposed to make other people's release, then all this stuff is going to start coming to the surface where people are going to have to deal with it. And that is where it goes into that dark night of the soul, when you have to face your dark side, the side of yourself that you think doesn't exist, but it really does, because we all are the good guy and the bad guy. There's plenty of people in your life that would come and say, you are a rotten son of a bitch. You know, we've all got people who look at us as the bad guy, somebody who's hurt them or caused them some sort of problem. And it's, you know, that's just the way it plays out. That's how souls come in to play those parts for each other. There's nothing wrong with it. There's so many things that we just want to judge. We want there to be a right and wrong, but everything has to work together for creation. So there is no right or wrong. There just is a web and flow, or an ebb and flow of energy, and you have to find the balance for yourself. So anyways, I don't even know if I'm making any sense. I can't even believe I've been up. I feel like I've been up almost all night. I feel like when I get in these kind of things, it reminds me of back when I was a nurse and being up all night. It was always sucky. It just had a yucky feeling about it. But you know, those girls, the talking like that. And then there was also a rapper who put out a song that is so freaking vulgar, just the same way as those women talking, because she's on her way to the clinic with murder on her mind. She's going to get an ABORTION because murder's on her mind. Something like that. It's just like, what in the hell are these women? You are the center of life, and you have no respect for, well, I mean, there's just, they don't even respect themselves. So they don't, I don't know, there's just a lot. A lot has got to go down with all of this change, you know. Everything has got to, you know, be shown to see the truth. And all these people, like, oh, I just can't even imagine going out there and saying some of this stuff. Like, how do you come back from that? It is a lot of humbling. It's a lot of humbling. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to really have to humble themselves. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially publicly. You know, to have to tell everybody, hey, you know, I'm real stupid and I'm just trying to figure this out. And so, you know, I was wrong and I'm going to, you know, I really need to work on myself and whatever. You know, I'm sure the people who do it will be a lot of different ways. And everything is going to be probably a lot more localized, especially if, you know, the internet and stuff goes down, which they could take it down at any time. Any information they try and stop us from sharing, like that's what they're going to do. So whatever's going to go on, I just know something is still to come. And I honestly hope it is just something to wake people up. I hope it's not just some kind of, you know, the splitting of the two earths and the sunburst and all the people leaving on the spaceships and stuff. I hope that we're not there yet, because to me, we don't feel prepared for that at all. Seems like, man, we'd be going into Age of Aquarius as, you know, not in a good place. So I think we have to get into a good place beforehand, before we start. I don't know. We'll just have to see how stuff starts playing out. I mean, maybe things will go real fast. The money will fall, and then they'll start putting money back in, and people will just be jumping up and running out and doing that and not concerned about their health. Like, there's a lot. There's so much. So, anyways, I think that this is going to keep playing out for a while. And, we just all have to stay strong and keep staying prepared for any storm. I mean, they can sneak those in the middle of the night. And, them trying to get it so close to winter and get people apart from houses, and then just bringing all these drugs and criminals in, and then they just pretend like nothing's going on. It's just a bizarre world. So anyways, I'll go and probably just work on my blankets and maybe take a nap. I don't know. See how it goes. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.